Okay, so we now need to get the pattern back out of the mould frame, so I'm just going to make a little bit of space for us to do that. So move this sand out of the way, and I'm going to turn the mould. Well, no, I'm not. I was going to turn it on its side, but knowing the pattern, it probably will fall out, so I'm going to try and lift the top part straight up, and you can see hopefully from these pictures that it's took a really good impression, and not a lot I can say in terms of what's gone wrong with that. It's actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sit down to do this. I'm going to make some holes in this to allow us to actually cast the piece. So I'm going to do one large one right in the middle, and then I'm going to take some of these smaller ones and put some air holes around the outside of the back of the pattern, and we do it on the back so that we don't interfere with any of the details on the front part, and that way when we take them out, when we cut them off afterwards, which I'll show you in another video, we can actually disguise where these pieces have actually been in. So now we're going to just lift this up onto its side, and I'm going to pass these pieces through and putting my hand over that so that I don't lose a lot of clay when I do that. I keep saying clay, sorry, I've got to get used to saying casting sand. It's just a name I've always used for it. So, okay, and the third one like that. So what we've got is, I don't know if you can see through that, we've got 4 holes, one in the middle. This is where we're going to pour the metal in. What I'm going to do is just make that a little bit easier, bigger, by just making it into a funnel, and then smoothing that down, because the smoother the metal can go in, pour into the mould, you've got less bounce and less issues with the aluminium hitting the bottom of the cavity and bouncing back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 2 pieces back together, and I make sure that the 2 halves match back up. Obviously if I put them back together like that, they wouldn't. So I'm going to turn this until the tops of the patterns, the 2 red parts, match up, and then I'm just going to gently slide these 2 together, and then turn it back onto its side like that. And I'm now going to get a piece of board to put underneath to be able to carry this, because we're going to actually cast these now. So I just I'll use this piece of flat aluminium because that's more about the right size. Okay, so put that under there so that it doesn't all fall out while I'm walking, and then we're going to take it into the other room and put it on our surface gently. Make sure that there's no loose pieces of clay, sand. Okay, so I'm now going to put the extractor on. I'm going to put that over there. That gives us a little bit extra volume of metal to push down into the cavities. The furnace is on, plenty of metal in there. I just make sure I've got my visor on. Sorry about having to keep walking around. So I've got my visor, take my hat off, apron on, gloves on, and a moment of truth. Obviously those that know the process inside out will probably be thinking, you know, the mould is cold and we're going to pour hot metal into it. Yes, strictly speaking, You could do with warming the pattern up, the mould up as much as you can beforehand, and it reduces the thermal shock, but for these sorts of patterns where the detail and the quality is not absolutely essential, we managed to get away with it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this off the surface, and we've got a really good full crucible there, which is what I need for this, and we're ready to go. So let's see if we can get a good casting. Okay, put that back into the furnace. It looks pretty good at this moment in time because the metal's gone down through the feed hole and it's pushed back through the air holes, which usually means it's a successful casting. But we put the extractors down and get rid of as much of the smoke as we can. We'll let that cool down a bit and then we'll do another video.